guys, welcome to today's video. In today's video, we're going to go into a scenario in which Iran forms an empire. And the first thing they do is invade Iraq, because I think it's a similar name. Therefore, it's part of their country. Maybe they claim it for the Persian Empire. Maybe that's what it is. Whatever it is, well, they invade it to annex it. And they start a spearhead towards Baghdad, one in the north. And they take the coast. Quickly, they move in to take the capital, Baghdad. Well, the nation has no chance against them, unlike in the 80s. They have no strength. And Iran wins. What a surprise. With Iran greatly increasing its size. Well, that might be good. So they go after... Oh, great. They go after Syria and Lebanon. I don't know why, both of them. And quickly they advance in. Some nations I can easily advance against. Nations I might have trouble against. But these nations, well, I don't think they really have a chance of putting up a fight. Maybe they do. Who knows? But I would assume not. Now, wherever they go, they might start a worse situation. So they decide to switch to the Turkmenistan. Because apparently they don't like Turkmenistan. That's pretty mean, I guess. Turkmenistan is pretty okay, maybe. Who knows? And well, the invasion takes place. And quickly they advance in the southern part and then they cut the country in half. And they take the capital. I forget where it's located. That's not a big deal. It's the nation surrenders. And didn't realize that meant full annexation. This nation decides to go after Jordan, which leads to Israel joining. In these nations. And then Palestine votes to join the Iran Empire. What a surprise. As they quickly move to occupy these areas. With this being a good advance, I guess you could say. I'm taking out Israel already. If that's even possible. With a counter-offensive occurring. But it's a failure, basically. And it demoralizes the nation. With them making it their goal to push them back a bit. Over here on this front. Which goes really good. But over here, a massive offensive begins. Taking tons of land. With a counter-offensive occurring again. Well, it might be like any more offensives. Well, actually. The advances, they bring more troops and starts going really well. With the front line ending up over here. By the time this nation decided to negotiate. So let's see the peace treaty. Schwafts of Saudi Arabia. They decide to go to war against Azerbaijan. Thinking it'll be an easy target, they declare war on all the Caucasus nations. Turkey decides to join in the defense of Azerbaijan. While Russia, and we'll give them the Crimea, decides to join on the side of Armenia. Which leads to a few weeks of pushback. Them getting pushed back all the way to there before they can stabilize the front. And then they launch their counter-offensive. Well, they move in. Them launching an offensive in the Caucasus with the goal of splitting Russian and Turkish troops apart. Which leads to them now having two fronts to work with. In Turkey, they start an offensive in the southern part of the nation, with Turkey launching a counteroffensive over here. But what they didn't expect was to be cut off over here. After this, leading to a big fall in their territory. And as this is happening, more troops are being sent in by the Turks. Then more forces start getting sent in by Iran. And before everything can fall, they decide to surrender. You may say, why would they surrender? Well, they managed to occupy so much territory. It's kind of crazy. Quickly, they move in against Russia. Russia failing all the counteroffensives and losing major areas. So let's see an agreement being signed to prevent war in this region. They make a vote to see what wants to join Iran. With this area being in favor of joining, and the other area not so much, with their annexations being massive. You might think that's kind of crazy, but I guess possible. Them ending up creating a big war because they know they can take on all these nations. They also bring Egypt in because they have enough forces to fight on two fronts, apparently. So let's see how it goes. Well, they have a fast offensive done against Egypt, which quickly advances to there, with them quickly moving into the capital area, moving down in the Nile, leading to their surrender. And then they invade Afghanistan and Uzbekistan with a swift offensive as they started front over here in northern Kazakhstan, with Afghanistan starting to fall already. These two countries end up quickly being led to capitulation as they get invaded quickly. And then they advance over here, with Uzbekistan being forced into surrender. And eventually Kazakhstan. So let's see the peace treaty. 3 continents. It's massive. It expanded from just this to, I think, triple its size, maybe. Or quadruple. Somewhere between there. That's a lot of land. And I also solved Crimea. Crimea belongs to Iran. Yeah, Crimea belongs to Iran. You heard that right. Crimea belongs to Iran. And that's all for today's video. Please like, subscribe, and comment while map her out, but not until you subscribe.